Is it 8-1?
Yeah.
What bar do the altos come in?
Beat bar 2.
Bar 2, yeah, bar 2 beat
2.
Beat 2, right. So you're going to have to kind of choreograph these cues, right? You're starting with sopranos, and then you don't really have time to look down, check who's coming in next.
Okay.
So sort of smooth out that choreography a little bit. Okay, let's try that one more time. Let's everybody get to the piano sound. Where is the piano sound? I think it's just this concert, right? Yeah. The Hammond organ reminds me of the harpsichord. Is that? I think it just says concert. Okay, once again. Okay, much better, much better. When you are cueing people, your kind of energy sort of goes like this. So when we reach out to the ensemble, there's sometimes it can end up doing funny things to our basic position. Okay, so you have to direct your attention to them without like forcing them. Okay. So what you're doing right now is you're sort of this. What that's doing then to your beat is kind of becoming like this. So keep everything here and bring them to you more than reaching out to them. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Start at the tenor entrance. I think it's second system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yep, no, right there, you kind of went into. Okay, keep all of this that we worked on last semester, right? Leading with the tip of the baton. Click, 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 click. You know, all you're doing is you play, and you. Okay, okay. It's in place. Good, good. Okay, so the question of the preps, all right, we need to find, when we're doing this kind of choreography, we have to find a balance between showing the abstract, meaning downbeats go down, people need to be able to count rest and whatnot, and showing what people are actually playing. Okay, so for example, if I was to just conduct everything like this, then that looks like all these entrances are on beat 1. Okay? Certain tempos that actually can kind of work. But here, if I'm conducting bum, 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 and then they come in on beat 2, then the downbeat is clear, but then your reaction is like, well, wait, which is, what's going on? As a side note, this kind of thing is when people get confused, and then when ensembles will generally tell you exactly the wrong thing that is the problem. So in that example, if I was conducting an orchestra and I did that, what these folks would say, they'd probably be brass players, and they would say, like, all we need is a downbeat. We'll count the rest. All we need is a downbeat. Like, no, the problem was, I showed you where you play on a downbeat, and you play on a downbeat. Okay. All that's to say that in that case, you have to be clear about where the downbeats are. But their breath happens after beat 1, not going into beat 1, right? Keep up, breathe, play. 1, 2, 1, 2. Tenor entrance, and then bass.
Okay.
All right? So think about when they would breathe if they're playing. Okay, try it from the top one more time.
The top?
Yep, from the top. Good. Do it one more time. That's great if this was Mahler 8.
Okay.
And you were bringing the entire bass section in with the tenor entrance, that'd be great. You don't need that for these 3 people.
Okay.
Right, yeah. I wasn't sure what was happening with the basses. Make sure that you make
I
the...
wasn't either.
Okay,
So-
start at the tenor entrance then.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, cool. Nice job. Who's next? All right.
I'm going to do the Bach fugue in D minor. At least I'm gonna try.
So we get to pick which ones we do?
If you volunteer, then you get to pick. If I draw your name from the card, I tell you what to pick, what to conduct. So of the 3 excerpts, 8-1, 8-2, 8-3, you can pick. You in 4 and 2.
I'm in 4.
Yeah, okay. Okay, great. This is a great lesson here. So what do you do in this case when you give a prep in 4 and they start to play in 2? You have to stay in 4, right? This will cause more problems than anything else in a concert. Is if you start there's an impulse to kind of go with the group, right? On some level, that's absolutely true, right? On some level. But if you start to conduct in 4 and somebody starts to play in 2, unless there is absolutely no way that that can be fixed, somebody has to be the constant, right? Otherwise it becomes like, well, okay, so wait, you started in 4 and they're clearly in 2, and then you look like you're in 2 now, and somebody's just waiting for somebody else to be right. Your job as the conductor is to be the one that is right. Okay? So stick to your guns. Right. Okay, fine. So, what style are you going for in this excerpt? Staccato, marcato, legato?
More marcato.
More marcato? Uh-huh. Great. What do you feel like you were showing? If the answer is marcato, that's fine. I just want to
I feel like I was showing marcato, but I feel like I was a little bouncy.
Yes,
You're-
that's what I saw. Yeah, I saw like kind of like a really sharp staccato. Bum 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 bum. I don't think that's what you're going for. I think that was because it feels like that feels more in control, right? What that's doing for you is that's making everything then more dramatic. So when you brought the tenors in, you had to like actually step out to them and everything. Again, in this case, I don't think you need that. So try to put everything in a smaller package and slow the rebounds down a little bit. So it's not this, but it's right. Ding bong, bing bong, bing bong, bong. Okay. That was Breathe With Them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So for question for everybody, when you have a cue coming up, right? So like let's say the tenor entrance, when do you need to start directing your attention to them? And or is there a cue can be late. Can that like preparation of the cue be too early? What do you think? Yeah.
I feel like it depends on the tempo.
Uh-huh.
If it's a faster tempo, you need to give them more beats.
Yep.
If it's a slower tempo,
Mm-hmm.
less beats are required in order to actually prepare people to come in. So like something like this, probably coming on 3, maybe even beat 1,
Mm-hmm.
looking at them and getting their attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else?
I was gonna, if you do it too early, it's like they might have a false sense like, oh, I can play now. So, but I feel like if you think it's late, then they might think it's late too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you like get there, you're like, oh crap, I didn't cue yet.
Yep.
And then that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I did that to a cellist once in a concert. This guy was like this orchestra was fantastic, and it was a contemporary music ensemble, and this cellist was like crazy smart and crazy good cellist, right? We were playing this incredibly complicated like transcription of a Schoenberg piece, and we'd only had one rehearsal, right, and then the concert, and so I tend to kind of like, you know, your entrance is coming up, so like just, you know, you're good, right? You know it's coming up, and I just see that people are kind of starting to get ready and whatever. Going along, and he had an entrance like in the next bar, and I kind of went like this and looked over just to see, and he caught me looking over and then came in, assuming he was a bar behind, and then within that bar realized what happened and fixed it, and his entrance was totally fine, right? That was a lesson for me learned. It was like, oh, I'm driving, the gas on this sports car is a little touchier than on my pickup truck. What I tend to do is I think if I was playing this, where would I start to adjust to put my instrument up? Right? And that's the point where I start to look over and direct the key. So, beam, bom, beam, bom, beam, bom, bom, bom. Now, if I come in on beat 4 in this bar, I probably 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 2, right? Probably in that bar that I would. One thing I'll warn you, unless the tempo is really, really fast, if they come in on beat 4 of a bar, don't give them too much attention until after beat 4 of the previous bar. That tends to be where the mistakes happen, right? So just think, as a player, where would you start to get ready? Whatever you play, where would you start to move to get ready? And that's when you start to direct your attention to them. Okay? Do this one last time. I feel like we could use another run of this. No, that looked a lot more like controlled and comfortable. What was the difference? Just you conducted a few more times? Or was...
I think I was thinking as an instrumentalist versus as a conductor, which helped a lot.
Great, good. That was really good. Yeah, good. My very, very first conducting teacher said you need to lead from the inside of the group. And I never really knew what that meant, but I think it's something along these lines. You know, not thinking of like outside imposing your will, but leading from the inside as if it's chamber music. Good. Next. Lucas. Jimmy, what is this piece, Fractalia? I don't know that.
It's a one-question quartet.
Oh, cool.
We attempted to play it once for Alex Roman's senior set.
Oh. Attempted, didn't go well? Or?
It went.
Okay, that's glowing.
I'm gonna do the first one. This is what Jimmy did 8-1.
Related to Noah's 2 versus 4 thing, for if you're doing something that's contrapuntal or especially anything by Bach, probably good to get in the habit of just telling the ensemble from the beginning, I'm in 2, I'm in 4, because there is a lot of leeway. You know, Mozart's also another example. If you're conducting Mozart, it's done so many different ways. I'm in 2, I'm in 4, I'm in 8, I'm in 6, whatever. Just a good habit.
I'm in 2.
What happened?
Sorry, team. Everyone came. I was like, oh, that one's late. It's like a waterfall I couldn't catch.
This is why we don't throw you on the podium your first day of student teaching without any. Maybe. Okay, so you just need to move the cues earlier, is that?
Yeah, and I kept thinking, I'm like, okay, where am I? Oh crap! And then it was just like, yeah, like I tried to find where they were at, and then by the time I missed where I should have cued them.
Yeah. For contrapuntal music like this, the way I mark my score is I mentioned like the brackets I use for entrances. I also have a system that I use for phrases. So like if it's 4 bars and then the altos come in or whatever it is, then I'll mark whoever comes in at the beginning, and then at the end of their phrase, or more importantly, like at the beginning of the next voice's phrase, I put a line through the score, and then I put like 4 for 4 bars, or 3, or whatever it is. So I try not to get in the habit of just counting rests, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, cue, because that feels disconnected. But 1, sometimes it's reality, and 2, it helps me to learn the score. So knowing that there's, a bar and a half at the beginning and then 6 bars or whatever it is, that can help too. So I actually mark that stuff in my score. Okay, try it one more time. Think of those cues a little earlier, and then we'll work on some conducting stuff. Okay, so that entrance felt kind of.
It was late.
Yeah. What do you think caused the lateness?
I think I turned, and then like by the time I got to them, I was already beat 1.
Yeah, okay. You also need to think about when they need to breathe to play
Okay.
that. Okay, because it looks a little bit like you're just marking their part when you get over here. So
And then
think about that.
Okay.
Okay, one more time. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so you're going for legato, right? Yeah. Your on your preps, the subdivision in your prep is slightly faster than once they start playing.
Okay.
So that's what's causing that
That's
tempo.
what's- okay.
Yeah, you're doing this. You're doing right. So that first looks suddenly slower.
Okay.
I think in your case, in this context, you can have a little bit more of a sense of rebound.
Okay.
Okay, you don't want to pull away from the beat.
Yeah.
That's marcato, but move a little bit more after the ictus
Okay.
to give that clearer sense of da dee da dee da dee da. Okay, do the tenor entrance and bring the basses in more firmly.
Yeah.
That made me just think of something. Try that one more time. I wonder if the reason you felt like everything was late was because you were sort of sticking so much to the plan.
Yeah.
Then your preps for any entrance on 2 ended up being this.
Like felt quick.
Yeah. So I think if you can even those out a little bit, it'll allow you to put more of an impulse in the prep. Okay, start at the same place.
Okay.
Good. Bravo. Time for at least one more. All right.
I'll do 8-3.
Oh, Beethoven 7. Good choice. Favorite piece. Excellent. Do you have a favorite Beethoven 7 performance?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. I know I said I'm biased, but Abato's Beethoven 7 is probably my favorite. The famous one is Carlos Kleiber. That's the famous one. But his with Berlin and Rome is phenomenal. How are you conducting this? 2 and 6 and 4 and what?
6.
6, yes. This one, everybody, you have. If you ever conduct Mozart 40, you have to tell the ensemble, "I'm in 6" in the second movement.
Yes.
Very nice. Yeah, the technique is all there. I really like that. Yeah, well done. So let's talk a little bit about what you're trying to get musically. Right. First off, how would you describe how you want the notes at the beginning?
I want them kind of legato but still separated.
Uh-huh. Yep. So what might that look like, gesturally?
A little bit more sticking to the plane and showing a little more separation.
Okay.
I felt like I was kind of
Yes.
marking too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Good. And then, how about from entrance to, like, why do you want it more legato, and what are you trying to get out of the larger phrase?
More growth
Yes.
throughout and like a leading to each next entrance.
Exactly, right. Now, while all the technical stuff was there, your cues in the right time, the preps in the right time, the pattern was clear. That's great. There's something about, right, that doesn't look like that growth you're trying to get. So if you can think of, for this, whenever I conduct this symphony, this movement, I think of like passing a baton, like a relay race, and then da-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum. And it has to be that smooth. You're all going to the same place. Okay? One time. Very nice, very nice. Yes, that's getting there. You know, okay. Keep thinking about that, and then wind players get out of marching band mode. It's not always 6-1, 6-1. Okay. Okay. So downbeats are important, yes, but it's not always the loudest note. Oh, I like that. They played exactly what you showed. Get the sound that you want. Good. Okay. Now in the bar where you have da-dee, da-dum, ba-dee, ba, what do you want from that bar? Like, what's happening?
I'm trying to show more weight on the sports ondos,
Hmm?
but I'm struggling to like not rep the pattern then and have it be like jerky.
Yep.
Because I don't want it to be like a jabbing accent, but just like weight.
Yep. Yeah. That's good. What happens right before the sforzando?
The 30 seconds in the soprano line, if it's very light and leads to that.
Exactly. So if you lighten up on the beat before the sforzando, then you won't have to hit the sforzando so hard. Okay, start a bar before whatever measure that is. A bar before the sforzandi.
Okay.
Tell them, I don't know which bar it is. Tell them which.
Pick up into 6.
Okay.
So soprano, alto, pick up.
Wait. Conduct in the style you want. Start a measure before that. So take measure 5 or something. Yeah, and the way I do this, I kind of cheat a little bit when I connect this. Start the same place for me. Is there a pickup? Yeah, okay. Pick up into measure 5. So I don't really prep this part because they're already playing. They have young, and then I minimize that beat to give myself a little more room for my speed. Okay. So the same thing.
Pick up to 5.
Good. Let's chat about that a little bit after class, but good. Yeah. Nice job, Allison. Sorry about that. Okay, everybody, we will continue the same thing on Wednesday. Same stuff on Wednesday. Thank you very much.